Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for November 12th through the 18th, 2018. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and to really allow our minds to focus in the center of our hearts and just allow yourself to see a brilliant, beautiful light that represents the spark of your soul. And feel the warmth coming from this light. And feel as though that this light, this eternal light within you, is nurturing you and providing you the warmth and the security that you need. As you just stare at the light that is within your heart center, feel the soothing peace that is emanating from within. And just allow yourself to be drawn deeper into the light and feel the expansion of life. Feel the expansion of your soul and the blessings and the abundance that resides within. Feel it all just reaching out to you like wings of love, and see them expanding wide around you, forming a firewall of protection that is sealed in unconditional love. And feel as though you are now at home within this celestial frequency. And as we invite all of your angels and masters, guardians, to be with you now, and for the source light to overshadow you or to overlight you with a profound, deep, cosmic love. And feel that light pouring into your heart and filling your soul. And so now we just tune in to the frequency for this week, and just get a sense of what's coming up for you and what's coming up for everyone together, and the ways that we can find greater clarity and a greater sense of peace and purpose. And so there's a sort of a sense that, so I'm sort of seeing the third eye, and this is giving me a sense, I'm feeling a lot of activity right now around the heart chakra, and I feel as though it's being activated in some way. And it feels like the petals of the chakra is expanding, and specific petals are being activated with some particular frequency, higher frequency. So there's a sense that your heart is going to open and expand to new opportunities, that you're getting ready or allowing something. So this may, the first thought that's coming through to me is that a freedom of expression. So something in the way that you express yourself, something that that was held back, So, like if creativity, if you've been experiencing any blocks in your creativity, that this is going to, um, you're going to sort of overcome these hurdles. There's going to be some kind of opening in this way. Um, it also feels like that your intuition is going to be greatly enhanced by this soul activation. Uh, wow, it just really feels like it is gradually, but it very quickly. It feels like a fire catching on and spreading, um, and it's just permeating everything and is consuming any shadows in your life. And so I feel like there's expecting a lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot of in your beliefs or limitations that you've been experiencing, especially lack. Some of you may actually experience abundance and influx of abundance, but this can also me. I'm also getting a sense that you may start to experience some profound healing. Um, they write the word lessons, so that there have been some lessons that you've been struggling with, and they're writing the word laugh as though you'll just be able to laugh those things off. It won't the conflict or the something is being diffused is the word they're writing. So you may see some things diffuse, like there was something a fire or something, an argument, and they're writing out family, that this will become diffused. They were saying that there's been this fog of confusion, misunderstanding in terms of what was being said. This could also be something, saying the word friend, and I'm saying friendly too. So it could be someone that's like family to you, or that you may see a shift in terms of the person that's cold is the word they're writing. There's been this coldness and confusion, and all of a sudden you may experience a shift in their personality where it becomes more friendly. And they're writing that something is coming to an end. They just wrote the word tulip, this flower. Give me a moment, because I'm gonna go look for this. um, because this flower, I'm gonna look it up. I know I'm stepping away from the mic, but this flower, the tulip, I'm gonna look in Robert Reeves' flower therapy, and if you have it, you can look it up as well. But this flower is great to have around, and you can, and if you don't have the flowers, you can call the energy of the flowers to be around you. Um, and isn't this appropriate? It says energetic properties: grace, poise, calm, removing irritations, releasing anger, and preventing interruptions. So the archangels that are associated with this is Haniel, Raguel, relationships, and Zachiel. Um, and the chakras, it says, is root, sacral, solar plexus, and crown. And it says, oh, I guess I'll try to show you if I can. It says tulips clear out energies that cause annoyance and anger. And I think that's the part there that you really want to call in that frequency of these flowers to work with. So if they're not available now, you can call them in to work with them. All right, just give me one moment. Yes, so you can call then it says these calming flowers help you to relax and focus better, even when circumstances seem to be conspiring to prevent you from completing your work, such as when a loved one or coworker is constantly interrupting with requests for aid. When you feel like you aren't making any progress, the energy of tulips helps bring balance. There's that word again, and everything comes back into order. Okay, so that was another thing that struck me too, is that you're having some, it's like you're trying to get something done, and a family member or coworker keeps interrupting you, and I just saw a open book, and for me this usually means some type of information. So and they're talking about this fog again. So there is just some kind of, it seems like they're trying to communicate something, and that something is going on with them, that there's information they want to share with you, but it seems to not be at the right time, or there's there's just some confusion, um, and maybe that confusion is something that will get diffused. And so what what I usually do is, in a meditation, see myself surrounded by these flowers, or sitting in a field of these particular flowers. So you can call that in and work with it. So let's see what's going on, and tune in. I'm seeing the angel number 680. And let's see here. We have, and this message reads, God has heard and answered your prayers to be relieved of financial stress so that all of your earthly needs are met. And the thought that's coming to me is, perhaps there is a financial matter that is creating, and there's a lot of sort of this energy around this, confusion energy around this, and maybe something that involves this matter between, whether it's at work or at home, and they're writing the word less, and I'm not quite sure why they were writing that word. I feel like that, and they're writing the word busy. I feel like there is, I don't know why, but this is how I feel it coming through. I feel like that you probably can do with less than what you think, okay? And so that you're worried about something. You're worried about not having enough to meet this requirement, whether it's that you're in a job, and maybe like on a team, and you're somebody stuck with this thing, we need this amount, and we don't have it yet, and or something like this. But the idea is that you can do with less, and it's a matter of, there something is not being communicated, you're not seeing something, there's this fog, and this is going to lift, and you're going to be able to, I'm saying the word sage, so clear your mind, and some wisdom will sort of come through that'll show you how to do this with what you have, and that you really do have what you need. So that struggle will somehow go away, okay? When the fog clears. So right now, if you're worried and about something, give it a little bit of time. Rest a little bit. Take your mind off of it. Let the universe restore balance here. Trust that, we've been saying this for weeks now, but it's such a beautiful piece that, even for me to discover this, that table is always prepared for us. And the more that I've been just backing off and reminding myself of this, the bigger picture is prepared. The vision that was in your heart, the universe has taken this vision and they're holding it for you, and they're shining light, creative energies that is helping this vision to unfold. So all you needed was to acknowledge and receive the vision, and to take the steps intuitively towards it, and trust. Don't focus on the lack, but keep reinforcing your faith in the balance. And There's that expression that we walk by faith and not by sight. And I don't know if you've been reading the daily card messages, but I'm not probably going to remember specifically what I said there, but I would encourage you to go back there in the last couple of weeks because that came up. And the idea is that, the faith, it is blind. Our faith is blind, and it's for a reason, because we wouldn't be ready for all the pieces that need to unfold in the vision. And this is what the universe does, is works to orchestrate the highest level of good and awareness that is available to you, that is possible for you, and to orchestrate in a way that you can be open to it. When you don't understand something, what this actually does is, let's put it this way: in this time frame, it's like being in a cocoon, and things are developing, and all you really have is your heart, guiding you. You feel this need to pursue this opportunity. It's all instinct, and if you saw it, you might interrupt it. You might say, "Oh, no, 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 no! Let me do it this way. Let me, because I like this, because all that control and all the, the things that we think we want." And so, if we were walking with sight rather than faith, we would interfere. And the reason that you're not given it is because you're not ready for it. But you are given the compass within your heart, which keeps you moving in a direction, and that direction is in alignment with what the universe is setting up and preparing for you to understand. When you get there, if you walk that path again, I'm like seeing that movie theater thing again, with the aisle is lit up, but and then the big screen, and everything else is dark. You can't see the seats, you can't see the details that are on the path, but the path is there. Your heart is like a beacon of light. That's what your heart does. And this is why it's so important that this activity of the heart expanding and clearing and creating, what they're saying is a lot of changes are coming through, that you keep following your heart. Your heart is like a beacon of light that's aiming the light in the direction where you need to head. It's not giving you the specifics, but it's putting you in that direction. And when you get there, you will you will understand the picture, the big picture. It'll all be there, and it'll be, and also it's like it'll be what you what not specifically what you expected, but it'll be better than this. It's this idea that what you have to understand is that it's better to be curious rather than to walk this with expectations, because the expectations cause you to rely on your sight. You need to see in order to believe. And if you're curious, and you are anticipating, you're ready to be surprised, then you can go with your faith. You can go with your heart and trust that the balance is always perfectly orchestrated for you. And I've just seen, working with this as a practice, just see a lot of things resolve without me having to exert all of my energy into worry and stress. Okay? All right, let's just see if there's anything else here. And I guess let's just see what the Archangel Oracle card for this week is, and see what the overall theme is. Okay, so this is good because it gives us this sense of confirming that everything will just fall into place, that the balance and the peace. Remember that peace doesn't mean that there will not be contrast. This entire human experience and the universe is all about the contrast as a means for you to create your own opportunities and to have choice. So the contrast banging up against one another, and we hate the banging, right? Because it feels like I'm saying the word confusion. All right, so you say, well, that's what creates my confusion. That's what creates my stress, and that's what creates, all kinds of things. But the thing is, that's your perception, one perception you have of the contrast that you lean towards, and which ends up becoming the way that you see life and understand it. And so there is another, and if you can get shift, and that's where that enlightenment comes, where you're able to see the contrast. So it's really important to be able to understand both sides from a neutral and compassionate point of view, understanding what the contrast is doing. So take the opportunity, if you really want to have peace in your life, when you're stuck on one end of it, try to find the other perspective. Because once you do that, you will be encouraging and cultivating balance in your perceptions and in your beliefs. So this is how you can begin to step onto that ascension path. Always try to see the other point of view. Not because you're going to agree with it necessarily, but to expand how you see, to expand how you think, to give you that compassionate point of view. And you'll be surprised, you might actually learn something or be able to take something from that. You may not take one at all, because it is okay. It is your right to disagree with something. Okay, that's okay. That's a part of your journey. That's part of the contrast. That's how you decide the path. Those decisions determine the path that you walk. And a lot of this banging back and forth is what inspires your purpose or your desire to serve. And so instead of getting stuck on what's wrong about the banging, this from that moment of your perception, focus on a solution for the wrong of the banging that you are perceiving, the way that you're perceiving it. Focus on a way to heal, to offer a service, or to offer anything that would promote the healing for those who would be seeking the peace that you're offering. Okay? So again, it's not about that we're trying to get rid of the contrast, but hopefully we learned to co-create with the contrast instead of seeing it only as obstacles, challenges to us, adversaries. All right. The contrast helps us, develops our voice or our expression. Okay, so you're always free. Now let's take a look at the. Oops, not it shaking there. Sorry, I hit the little stand. Let's take a look at the cards for the week here and see what's coming up. All right, so this is a great card to start with, and the star, we think about, stars and the stories of the wise men guiding, and I'd also this card is, number one, a very auspicious card, so it indicates a favorable outcome, and especially in terms of plans and future plans, to move forward. I also think of this card as an astrology or some sort of a alignment, card of alignment on your own astrological path, and I'm not an astrologist, but for me, this card indicates um, some kind of alignment that you're finding, or you are in alignment with your path, and to keep following that guidance, and to keep making plans in that direction, to keep nurturing, to keep feeding it. In this card, you see she opens sort of a pendant, and it kind of reminds you of Pandora's box. But in this case, she opens this and she finds hope. She's found some extraordinary light, some extraordinary gift or idea that now is given her this whole new set of options and and possibilities, hope, possibilities. And so something is going to unfold for you in this way. Something will sort of just really just light up for you. Sort of just like that, where we're feeling that activation in our heart. And it's going to shift, it's going to restore. Because we often see this card comes after the Tower card, and then the Star card. The woman is pouring the waters on the land and the river that's running there. So it's a card of restoration, and so something that has been broken is now in the process of being repaired through an inspiration of hope. There's something very promising that you want to pursue, or something that just restores your confidence and your hope, and allows you to move with new optimism and move in a new direction. All right, let me just see if there's any additional information coming up about this card. So interesting. It looks like it's sort of seeing a swing. And so, the thing about the swing is, to sort of go, to kind of go with the flow. It's be playful. You know, I mean, the swings move back and forth, but it's this playful. It lifts you up, and you sort of getting into the swing of things. So possibly this sense of struggle, saying the word struggling, somehow, in other words, lifts, and you feel a bit more playful, and to enjoy this. Don't try to restrict yourself, or don't get into this mindset. Well, waiting for the other shoe to drop, kind of thing, and over whelm yourself. I'm saying the word damages. So don't worry, okay, about damages or consequences here. Stay with this. Trust this. Okay, be passionate about this and pursue it. I'm saying the word aggressive. I don't know why, but maybe this sense I'm getting in a moment that you can tend to be. You can be a bit aggressive when it comes to I don't know, just trying to make sure everything is the way it needs to be. This is the sense I'm getting, and as soon as you get something that frees your heart, and then all of a sudden you go right back into this serious mode, and you aggressively attack the plans. And what they want you to do is to flow with it. Be flexible. Don't be so rigid. Don't be so rigid about plans. You can think of them as a template, but that you're going to give it freedom. You're going to be open to the possibilities that also you may discover as you proceed. Let the plans give you structure in order to get started, but know when to let the plans go for something better. And they want you to let your passions take over more. Let yourself be passionate, about your plans. Don't let. I guess they're trying to say it's a difference between aggression, because they keep writing aggression, and passion. they're not the same. And some of you associate this them to it's sort of being the same when you're like, okay, now I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it, and now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna conquer this thing, and that's you just killed all the passion, in it. So they're not the same, and so relax. Is the sense I'm getting here. Just relax. Trust that things are gonna unfold for you because you deserve it. If you don't know that you'd love that much, then that is something to work on. Okay? So the card in the middle is the Princess of Autumn, which is the Page of Pentacles. And so this card is sort of giving me a sense that something is going to start to take off. So in this way, it's like what I like about this card is notice the freedom that she has. The book is floating there, the information, the coins are floating. It's all sort of, she's not gripping it. She's playing with it. She's allowing it. And so in this beginning, you want to allow things to just sort of occur for you. It's not to say that you're just going to sit back and do nothing, but you want to nurture it in a way that you are allowing yourself to be aware of where things want to go. Like, trust you have good instincts. You have good skills, knowledge, the resources. You know how to work with these things, but see where it wants to go. Don't be so controlling. And this is as things begin to emerge for you. So the page is about something new starting. And the card says, happy news about a career, promotions, or scholarships. Okay, so whatever type of change it is and whatever type of support or abundance that's coming through, don't try to be so controlling. So if it's a new job, don't go in there and try to prove anything. Be yourself. The gifts are inside of you. You are hired. So yes, I know that people are expecting something from you. But when you put that extra pressure on yourself, and then you restrict the way that you would express yourself. If you would just give yourself a little bit more freedom, take off a little bit of those chains, you would see what you could really accomplish when you don't put that pressure on yourself. Okay? You got to trust that they were right when they hired you, or whatever it is. If it's, you've gotten a scholarship and now you're going to college or something you're worried about, are you going to perform well? I mean, whatever the situation is, trust that if someone asked you to do something, that they saw in you everything they needed, and they had confidence in themselves in their decision to hire you. So you don't need to put pressure. They've made a decision, which means that they've taken off the pressure off themselves, and they can trust you. So honor that trust by trusting yourself and enjoying yourself. Okay? Don't be so aggressive again. All right, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. All right. And when I was pulling this card, I felt like the deck was kind of loosening up a little bit. And so I felt that by the end of the week, you would sort of, or the message here, whether it's for the end of the week or if it's for this whole entire reading, that you will find that you will loosen up. You will adjust to this change or shift that is happening with you, and you will find I don't want to say comfort, but you'll find yourself. You'll find your voice. You'll feel this new you'll grow into this new awareness that is developing for you, and you will become comfortable with that. So this card, we have two major arcana cards here. So this card, you know, indicates the the contrast here. So you have the lion and the lamb. You know, here we're talking about that contrast again, and that you become comfortable with this contrast in the end. So all the banging around, all the challenges, um, you you learn to mold it, to influence it. You find ways to use it to serve the highest good, to motivate others, to inspire your, to be to be yourself inspired by it. And I think that's really what's sort of going to unfold for you. So as you're stepping into through these changes are creating challenges, because now there is more contrast at first to your ego, because see, your ego is afraid and it's feeling a lot of lack. It doesn't have the things that it's used to having. It doesn't have the comforts it's usually has on a daily basis. The patterns are broken, and so your ego does a lot of screaming and protesting, and and it focuses you on what's different, what's not stable, what's not what's not fitting to your expectations. You know, you can go into do something and be like, well, this doesn't fit my expectation. You just look and see what it. I like it like this. I like it like this. And the thing is, to get to sort of break this, you need to look at approach it from, okay, what's look at that other side for a moment and see what how could this benefit me. All right, just try that in this week. All right, so let's take a look at the card I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck, and it's the Ten of Autumn, Ten of Pentacles, and this is a card usually about legacy. It says, take steps to ensure the financial security of your children and other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. So what I'm getting about this card is whatever shift or change is coming up, that this is going to provide you the security, the support and resources that you need, the material, so your needs are, you'll find fulfillment in your needs. So these changes are providing that for you. All right, that's very important for you to understand that these changes are doing that. Okay, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and thank you for joining us. If you're looking for an angel reading, you can contact me at theangelschool.com, which you can find in the link below. If you haven't followed us for the daily card messages, you can find that in the link below as well on my Facebook page. You can also follow us on Twitter for the videos and the daily card messages. So have a beautiful week, everyone, and God bless you all.